Our organization is growing fast and we receive frequent requests for modifications and new product development. The extent of modifications and new assemblies require creation of a large inventory management system. There is a need to create extra warehousing space and employ a large number of people besides induct an inventory management system to handle all of it. Listening to earlier, much of this seems like a waste. Can you tell me how lean can be applied to supply chain logistics?
Good question, actually. You have noticed the symptom of your problem is in the supply chain area, where you seem to be experiencing the pains, the pressures, and disruptions. To identify the causes for this, you must examine the entire value stream from customer to the last supplier.
Okay.
Now, in a non-lean organization where the demand rate is not measured the way it should be, marketing is likely to ask for unplanned changes and even frequently. The production strategy in such cases is usually to deliver from built-up stationary inventory lying in warehouses. When the product changes or modifications or adaptations or customizations become more frequent, the brunt of this pressure gets passed on to the supply chain where they expect inventory to be made available. The strategy should actually be such that marketing gets the changes it needs, but also ensures that production gets its time, and they allow production the time to make changes and improvisations to be able to deliver these changes in expected times. So, if the cause lies in the marketing area, we need to correct it.
Sure.
When designs are not standardized and rationalized the way they should be, to the maximum extent possible, what happens is it adds to the component variance. And this puts pressure on supply chain. So, if this is a problem, it needs to be corrected too. Where purchase uses a strategy of multiple suppliers for a single component or assembly, the response from such suppliers is different from that of single source supply chain partners. Usually in such cases, there is a lot of wasted capacity that becomes visible in the form of inventory, storage systems, tools used, etc., etc. There's a lot of wastage here. So if this is a problem, it needs to be corrected too. Where push mentality prevails in the procurement or with the supplier, or in both, the productivity that is wasted, is an ultimate waste in the entire supply chain. And like I said, it's visible in various forms. Toyota actually uses in India, I'm told, 64 or 65 suppliers. And we in Mysore Kirloskar had brought down our suppliers from 179 to 33. So lesser the number of suppliers, always a better advantage.
Got it.
Sometimes we have seen in certain organizations, there are people who have lived with the organization for a long time and they live in the old thinking. And they don't want their comfort zones to be disrupted. And they might be playing a role in any one of these. So, if that is a problem, it needs to be corrected too. So, if you need to get this strategy right and then develop the tactical part to implement the strategy successfully. It could lie anywhere in the supply chain, not necessarily at one place, but at multiple places as well. And therefore, the symptom that you see is where the eruption has taken place. The cause could be anywhere in the supply chain at one or multiple points, and all of them need to be addressed, identified, addressed, and eradicated. So only then what you see now as a war zone can become a complete symphony.
Gotcha.
Correct?
Thank you.